Hi, welcome to this brief but comprehensive practice intended to give you a full body release after a long flight, or maybe an extended road trip, or even just a regular day at home or at the office. These things aren't mandatory, but if you have them, maybe grab a couple of throw pillows, and I'm going to be using a yoga strap, but you can substitute a belt or a scarf or a tie even. And if you're on a surface that's hard and don't have a yoga mat, you may wish to have a folded up blanket or a bed pillow or a folded towel or something to place under your knees. Actually, you can even do this practice from on top of a bed if you like. Let's get right into it. Come to seated. Legs can be crossed. Take a moment to close down the eyes. Sit the spine up tall. And bring your breath into slow and steady inhales through the nose. As you inhale, fill all the way to the top. And as you exhale, try to release all the air. Let's just breathe here in stillness for a moment. Try to place all distractions that you might have entering your mind up on a shelf. They will be there when you're finished with this class. For now, try to focus on how the body's feeling in this present moment. Lower the right ear towards the right shoulder and press the left shoulder down towards the ground. Sweep the head through center and tuck the chin towards the chest, lengthening through the back of the neck. Bring the left ear over the left shoulder and gently press right shoulder down. Reverse that, going back towards center, tucking the chin. And right ear, right shoulder, press left shoulder down. Sweep from side to side in that same manner, gently going at your own pace. The next time you are back at center, inhale and sweep the arms up overhead, glancing up at your fingertips as you do so. On your exhale, bend the elbows. Bring the arms into a cactus shape. Reach the elbows for one another behind you, stretching through the chest, broadening the collarbones, but trying to keep the rib cage hugged close together. On your next inhale, reach the fingertips high again, gaze follows. And exhale into your cactus shape. One more time, reach the fingertips high. And exhale, bend the elbows. Keep the elbows where they are, and on your exhale, bring them in front of you, touching the forearms together and bringing the palms to touch. From here, round the spine, lower the chin, tuck the tailbone, and feel the shoulder blades separate behind you. On your inhale, open the arms back up wide. Find your cactus shape. This time, arch the spine. Let the gaze lift. Exhale, bring forearms to touch, palms to touch, round to the spine. Inhale, open the arms up, arch the spine, slight gaze lift. One more round, exhale, rounding the spine, tucking the chin. Inhale, opening it back up. And then as you exhale, lower the arms and grab your strap or belt or scarf. Extend the arms fairly wide and wrap the scarf around the hands. If you don't have anything, you can keep the arms wide, pretending to hold on to something there. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna flow between our arms being in front of us, lifting them overhead and drawing them behind us. So walk the fingertips as close or as far apart as they need to be so that you can get the arms behind you if that feels safe for your shoulders today. We're gonna try to avoid thrashing the chest forward and rounding a lot in the spine. Instead, we're gonna try to isolate the movement to our shoulders here and keep the ribs tight. So at your own pace, lifting the arms up in front of you, putting a little resistance, pulling the strap apart, coming up overhead, again, keeping the movement isolated towards the shoulders, bringing the strap above the head and behind you if you have that range of motion, or stopping where you feel like it would be a good idea to stop. Continue to sit up tall and engage the core. Lift and lower at your own pace. When you drop the arms in front of you, you can also tuck the chin towards the chest to feel more lengthening in the back of the neck and between the shoulder blades. Pause wherever you feel like you could benefit from some extra attention. The next time your arms are overhead, pause there and lower one arm towards the ground, finding a nice side bend here. It doesn't need to necessarily touch the ground, but it can. You want to focus on trying to keep the shoulder and the chest rolled open versus rotating the chest towards the ground so you can get closer to the floor. Okay, the goal is not to get close to the floor, it's to keep the opening in the lifted shoulder and chest. Inhale, pass through center, and find that same thing on the second side. Keeping the chest forward, shoulder rolling open, spine still tall, sitting up through the waist. Continuing to breathe through the nose here. Inhale, lift all the way back up to the center. Go ahead and lower the arms, release the strap. You can set it aside, we won't need it anymore. We have two options for the legs in this next stretch. You can keep them easily crossed here. You can also take the right leg Uncross and bring the right foot outside of the left knee, keeping the right knee pointed up towards the ceiling. If you do this, make sure you're seated with your weight equally distributed between both sit bones. Place the right hand behind the right hip and grab the outside of the left knee with your, outside of the right knee with your left hand. Sit up tall, lengthen through the waist, and rotate the torso to the right, gazing over the right shoulder if it feels safe for your neck. Breathing through the nose. Gently unwind from your twist and change sides. If you're in your cross-legged seat, take the right hand to the outside of the left knee. Otherwise, take the left foot this time, place it outside the right knee, grabbing the outside of the left knee with the right hand, left hand behind you, twisting, looking back behind you over the left shoulder. One more breath here. Gently unwind. Come back to both feet on the ground, or both knees on the ground. And open the legs now into a butterfly shape. The soles of the feet are going to come together. Your legs are in a diamond shape. Might feel nice to have those throw pillows supporting the knees so that you can allow them to relax. You can even double them up depending on what height would be best. We're searching for opening in the inner thighs here. Continue to sit up tall, grab the shins, broaden through the collarbones. You can keep the heels as close to the pelvis or as far from the pelvis as you feel like would give you the best amount of engagement there. Static hold in this shape, just allowing the legs to open naturally, or if you'd like to feel a bit of a different sensation, you can walk the hands forward, allowing yourself to forward fold. This brings a different sensation, changing the stretch to the outsides of the hips here. Work on drawing the chest forward. Keep the gaze lifted. If you've done a forward fold, walk the hands back towards the pelvis. Support the knees with the hands, bring the feet together. Set the throw pillows aside. Make your way into a tabletop shape. The hips are directly above the knees, and the shoulders are directly above the wrists here. We're going to circle our torso out over the wrists. So starting by leaning over to the right, maybe drop the hips over to the right as well. Really feeling a bit of an extra stretch in the outer right hip. And then circle the torso around to the front, allowing the shoulders to come in front of the wrists. So you feel a little bit of a stretch in your wrists here and in your forearms. Pass over to the left-hand side, drop the hip, And then press the hips towards the heels here, even maybe coming into a full child's pose. If that feels intense on the knees, you can place a throw pillow between the backs of the calves and the backs of the thighs. The arms are outstretched in front of you. And then let's circle like that in a more fluid motion. Going over to the right, passing through center, over to the left, hips over heels or thereabouts. Drawing a few circles here, slow and steady. If you'd like to pause in a particular area, do so. Get in 3 or 4 nice big circles. And then change the direction of your rotation. Come to stillness here, back to your tabletop shape. If there's anyone out there with super sensitive knees, watch the top left corner of your screen for some chair alternatives for these next few movements. What we're going to do next is we're going to take the right toes and sweep them off to the right side of your space there. And then lift the knee and point the knee up towards the ceiling. So our right toes are pointed out at a 90-degree angle, and the knee is pointed up. So you're feeling an opening in the thigh here. From here, we're gonna lower our hips back down towards our left heel, keeping the hands and the arms outstretched in front of us. I'll show you a couple different angles of what that looks like. Again, use a throw pillow beneath the thigh and on top of the back of the calf if you'd like, so that there's not quite as deep a bend in the knee. You can lower the forehead onto the ground or keep your gaze lifted here. Release from there. Lift the hips back up, and let's change to the second side. So this time we're sweeping the left toes off to the side. We're lifting the left knee up. Our toes are pointed to a 90-degree angle, and then we're lowering the hips towards the right heel. Lifting back up. Bring the knees back together, coming back to your tabletop shape. We're going to add on to that. This time, sweep the whole leg off to the side. Okay, so starting with the right side, I'm mirroring you. So I'm using my left leg. The toes are pointed forward this time, and the leg is straight. And now, same thing, drop the hips back over the heels. Gaze can stay lifted, or you can lower the forehead. The hips back up, and then walk the hands back towards the left knee, lifting the torso up. So you're standing now on your left knee. take the right hand, slide it down the right thigh, and reach the left arm over the left ear, feeling a really nice lengthening in the side body. Keep the core hugged in tight to help you with balance and stability here. And really press down into the ground with your extended leg. You can turn your gaze under the left armpit if that feels nice on your neck. Breathing here through the nose. And either stay here in this nice side body stretch or take the stretch to the other side, lifting the torso back up to center and lowering down to the ground on the opposite side. Drawing a really long line between the ankle of the right leg and the right wrist. Use the strength of the side body to lift all the way back up and make your way back to your tabletop shape. Place the hands down, draw the knees back together. Let's change over to the second side. So now we're stepping the left leg off to the left, toes point forward, draw the hips back over the heels. Release from there. Walk the hands back towards the right knee. Engage the core, lift the torso. Inhale, the arms up over your head. Take the left hand down the left thigh and lean over the extended leg. Gazing under the arm in the opposite direction. Static hold in this nice side bend here, or if you'd like to take it to the other side, go ahead and do so now. You can even use a block or books or something under that hand to reach the ground a little bit better, if that would be helpful. Again, we're lengthening through the left ankle, through the left wrist. Core is tight as we lift the torso back up to center. Come back into your tabletop shape, bringing shoulders directly above the wrists and knees underneath the hips here. Once you find your tabletop shape, bring the knees together. Walk the hands just a little ways in front of the shoulders. We're going to find a gentle back bend here. So begin to lower the hips towards the ground. Keep the glutes engaged and lift the chest forward. So now you find yourself in kind of a plank on the knees shape. Now your shoulders are directly above your wrists, and there's a straight line between the shoulders and the knees. From here, if it feels safe, you can lower the hips a little bit further, bringing yourself into a back bend. Draw the chest forward, keep glutes engaged to protect the spine. You should feel an opening in the abdomen, opening in the chest. Keep the gaze lifted. Take this one really slow. Make sure it feels safe for you, allowing yourself to lower any amount. Release from this back bend. Make your way back into tabletop. Pass through tabletop and come to seated. You can drop the hips off to one side or another, and then swing the legs around so that they're in front of you. Keep the thighs engaged, the calves engaged, and the feet flexed. Walk the hands forward. We're coming into a seated forward fold. Locating what depth feels appropriate for you today. We're looking for a little bit of engagement, but not pain. Drive the chest forward and feel length happening just below the glutes, the tops of the hamstrings here. Continue to keep the chest drawing open. And inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Walk the hands back towards the hips and then open the legs wide. Let's do that same thing but in a straddle. Our legs are still engaged, feet are still flexed. Sit tall and forward fold any amount that feels nice. Walk the hands forward, tilting the pelvis back. Reaching chest forward, gaze stays lifted. Walk the hands back towards the pelvis. We're going to just find another gentle little side bend here. So bring the right arm on top of the right leg, or you can even bring the forearm inside the leg if you'd like. And then reach the left arm overhead. Sit up tall through the waist. Release from there and take it to the second side. Rolling the shoulder and the chest open. Feet are still flexed. Core is still engaged. Lift up, come back to center. Bend the knees and place the soles of the feet wider than hip width distance. Drop the hands behind you for support and then lower the knees over to one side or another. Pausing here. Our knees should be bent at a 90-degree angle. Legs are in a 90-90 shape here. Windshield wiper the legs over to the other side, pausing in that 90-90 shape. Back to the first side, and this time keep the torso lifting and find a forward fold over your front knee, okay? Walking the hands forward, lowering down. What we're trying to do is find a stretch in the muscle that is right around where your back pockets would be. So walk the hands from side to side and figure out where you need to place your torso that capitalizes on that stretch there. Walk the hands back closer to the body, change sides. Again, forward folding over the front knee. Adjusting as necessary. Walk the hands back in. Release from there, lifting the legs back up, bringing the feet together. Let's come all the way down to our backs now. Move your pillow or whatever to a space where you'll be able to land your head. Straighten the legs and curve the spine into a C shape. Let's lower down slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, really accentuating every move. Once you land, bend both knees, place the soles of the feet on the ground. Lift the right foot, place the right ankle on top of the left knee. We're going to come into a figure 4 stretch. We'd like to see the shin of the right leg parallel to the chest. If you find that your knee starts to come in towards the center, leave your foot on the floor. If your shin can remain parallel to the chest, lift the left leg off the ground, press the lower back into the mat, and draw the legs towards the chest. Reach in between the opening of the legs with the right hand and grab the left shin. Again, keeping the shin parallel. If you find that it doesn't remain parallel, lower the foot as far as it needs to be lowered so that the shin stays parallel. This may mean you're grabbing behind the thigh for support. If you'd like a little bit more core engagement, you can also do this hands-free, taking the arms out to the sides in a T shape or a cactus shape. Use the strength of your core to draw the knees in. Wherever you are, keep the feet flexed, keep the core hugged in, and just feel a stretch and opening in the right hip. We're still breathing through the nose. Release the left foot down to the ground now. Unwind and change sides. Again, feet stay flexed. Either keep right foot on the ground or lift it up, draw the legs towards the chest. Support with the hands or use the strength of your core. Enjoying a nice hip opening on the left side. Take one more breath here. Long and slow, even inhale and exhale through the nose. Softly set the right foot back down, uncross the legs, straighten the legs, and take them a little bit wider than hip width distance. Bring the hands down by the sides and close the eyes if they're not closed already. I'm going to leave you here resting for a few moments. I really encourage you to take the next few minutes here in silence, practicing your inhales and exhales through the nose, long and steady. Use the opportunity to find just a few moments of stillness and peace before moving on to what is next. I hope that you enjoyed this little practice. I hope it hit all the right spots. Please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank you for practicing with me today. I will see you next time.